Oh my god, it's finally happening. We finally have information on what Embark plans on doing for the quote-unquote wiping system in Arc Raiders. We just saw recently on their Discord that they answered some frequently asked questions, and one of those questions they did mention that they were going to be dropping a blog post soon on how they are going to be handling wipes, and well, we finally have that. That blog post is out. I have not read it yet. It just came out, so I'm going to be going over this with you guys live here. This is my first time seeing it. Sorry, I just punched my keyboard in excitement. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So it looks like in this blog post, we are going to be seeing a couple of things. Today, they're doing a deep dive into Arc Raiders progression wipes. They have named this the Expedition Project. Inside of this article, we're going to find out why we do not intend to have mandatory progression wipes in Arc Raiders and how our team has approached the topic, what the Expedition Project is and how it works, how and when each raider will be able to access and complete projects and reset their progression through expeditions, what happens when a raider project is not completed at the end of each 8-week cycle. So with those last two things right there, without even reading this article, when it says that raiders will be able to complete the project and reset the progression through expeditions, it almost makes it seem like Hunt Showdown, where you can prestige your hunter and start over, right? I'm wondering if you eventually get like good enough gear and stuff to just like launch yourself into fucking space and escape the hellhole that is the surface of Earth. So you have to make a new character, but I guess we'll find out here momentarily. And it does look like there is a cycle that comes with it. It's going to be 8 weeks or 2 months. So it seems like you have 2 months to complete whatever this project is. Next, we have what you keep and what you lose when you complete an expedition and what will change for you afterwards. I'm really excited to see what that is. Also, why completing expeditions is worth it, and more details about the philosophy behind developing the reset mechanic in Arc Raiders. All right. Let's go ahead and hop in. I am going to go ahead and just read this article here. Sorry, my reading sucks. So, whatever, fuck you, you're gonna have to deal with it. Hello all, I am Virgil, the design director for Arc Raiders. I'd like to spend a bit of time talking about a topic that is important to many players familiar with games like Arc, this being the subject of progression wipes, or as we refer to it, the Expedition Project. Previously, the question of how we will handle resets or wipes has come up. Until now, the answer has been that currently we do not intend to have mandatory wipes. These words were chosen carefully as we don't intend to have mandatory wipes. However, as some have guessed, we do have a voluntary reset mechanic. Just to make it clear, we absolutely see the benefits a global wipe provides. Veteran players can experience the game fresh, the economy is reset to the baseline, and all players have about the same level of capabilities, at least for a while. However, one thing a mandatory wipe does not do is respect the investment of those players who do not have as much time to play overall. So as we have done with several other mechanics before mimicking other established mechanics, we'd like to try our own method, ideally to the end that best suits Arc Raiders and a larger majority of its players. Which brings us to the Expedition Project. The tunnel networks connected to Speranza are vast but largely unexplored or inaccessible. Most survivors stay within their settlements, but like the raiders who dare venture topside, there are those who dare venture even further. Once the Rust Belt has given all it can offer, some raiders chose to set up beyond the borders of what they know. As of now, this has always been a one-way trip. In the full game, oh my god, in the full game, players will have access to a feature called projects. At level 20, the first major project players will have access to is the Expedition Project. Upon completion, this project makes a character reset available. If a player completes a reset, they will be able to do so again as long as they complete another of these projects. So it looks like the first one, the Expedition Project, will release on October 30th and continue through December 14th, I think. Because on the right, it says December 15th through the 20th, December 21st. I'm not entirely sure what that is. It looks like caravan construction and supply phases available is the finalization of the phase opening, and Oh, I see now. So it says finalization phase open. So you have until December 15th through the 20th to complete it after that initial period. And then that completed caravan will depart on December 21st. Interesting. The expedition project will operate in a repeating cycle of roughly 8 weeks. During the course of these 8 weeks, players can contribute towards and make progress on their expedition project, which will overall be a somewhat large time investment. At the start of the 8th week, the ability to finalize the project will become available and will remain available for that entire week. If a player has fulfilled all of the necessary stages of the project, they will be able to commit to completing the expedition during this period. Should a player's project not be ready during the window to complete the expedition project, their progress will be kept, allowing them to continue working on the project until the next finalization window. Other projects may be added over time as part of updates, holidays, and other events. These will range in scale and reward structure. And then there's a fucking video, guys. There's a fucking video. We're going to watch it together right now. So it looks like you commit some of your resources that you've gathered throughout raids to kind of like build this little spaceship. It looks like it's set out in like 6 different stages. We can see up there in the top left, and then it also shows you how many days you have remaining in the top right. What is kept? What is lost? So, what you keep through an expedition versus what is lost. Players will lose anything inherent to their character's progress. Levels, skills, items/inventory, workshop, crafting capabilities, etc. Damn. That's a lot. Players will keep cosmetics earned or purchased, awards, achievements, rankings, etc. Especially anything rooted solely in the metagame or involving real money will be reserved. For convenience, after completing an expedition, players will be able to skip the majority of the onboarding and tutorial steps they went through as a new player, this being things like unlocking certain features, maps, etc. as they play through the early game. These will be available from the start of a fresh reset. Now, aside from players who like the thrill of starting fresh, why would you willingly give up all of your hard-earned progress? Incentives. The benefits and incentives. We are still finalizing the exact benefits and rewards, but they will generally follow these lines. Permanent account unlocks for each completed expedition, unique cosmetic rewards for each completed expedition, which I really like. That is going to be amazing. Account buffs that are applied for the duration of the following expedition cycle. I also like that. That's really cool. And sequential completions of the expedition project increase the magnitude of these buffs up to a limit. One point to drive home is that we are being very careful about the nature of these benefits. Completing a reset should never give a player a power of combat advantage over anyone who has not completed a reset. I also like that they are monitoring that pretty closely, as that could be a huge kind of like, not pay to win, but a huge like time advantage that, you know, not everyone has as much time to play as other people. So I like that they're going to monitor that. Initially, these benefits will center around cosmetics and bragging rights, quality of life, and smoothing out some aspects of progression for those who have gone through a reset. What comes next? While any and all of this is subject to change between now, launch, and post-launch, that is about the shape of it right now. We hope that by making the reset mechanic voluntary and properly incentivized, we can observe 2 results. 1. Players who are highly engaged can experience the game fresh on a regular cadence while accruing some benefits. 2. Players who have less time to dedicate to the game don't have their progress reset out of their control. They are always able to keep moving forward and at their own pace if they so choose. It's not a silver bullet, and it won't achieve the clean break that a mandatory global reset does, but it does aim to be more equitable to all players. Wherever possible, we want to value your time spent in the game as much as you do. Of course, this is a complex topic, so we will be keeping an eye on the discussion around this message and follow up as necessary. Thank you all for your interest and your passion for Arc Raiders. I look forward to seeing you topside. Virgil. Wow. So it does look like it is going to be some sort of almost like mission quest kind of storyline thing, plus a prestiging system, kind of how I mentioned in previous videos that Hunt Showdown and Diablo do, where you can reset your character to get like specific rewards. I do love that they're going to be adding cosmetics. I do love that they're going to be adding like account buffs for people who complete those, but closely observing them so they don't get overpowered. I am so fucking excited for the server slam. I am so fucking excited for launch. The devs have been doing an amazing job at handling this game, and I am so ready for everyone to experience all of their hard work that they've put in. Please let me know what you think about this quote unquote wiping system. If you have any questions, what your favorite thing about this system is, down below, and I will see you guys topside.